Mark McGowan has described you as not that smart and an extremist. How do you react to that, and how do you plan to win back WA after losing so many seats in the election?
Well, I feel a great affinity with WA as a Queenslander. As much as anything, there's always sort of two mining states and two states with vast regional areas. I think there's always been that affinity with WA and Queensland. So I feel at home in WA, frankly, as I do around the rest of the country. I've, in this job, travelled to Sydney hundreds of times, dozens and dozens of times to other capital cities, including Perth, and I've got lots of friends in WA. I've got respect for Mark McGowan as the Premier for WA. I'm not going to enter into a tit-for-tat and juvenile comments. The state premiers, state Labor premiers and chief ministers lined up as one to attack and to pull down Scott Morrison. They'll seek to do the same with me. All I'd say to the Australian people is to look at me and form your own judgement, listen to what I'm saying and form your own judgement, as opposed to listening to these politically motivated statements. And in relation to the second part of his comment, well, I have a bachelor's degree in business, in public administration. I wasn't a committed student at school. I was more interested in making money, I might say. And I started a business of nothing into a very significant business employing 40 staff. I've been on the front bench of the Liberal Party since 2004, having been identified by John Howard in my first term as being capable of being appointed very quickly to the ministry. I've served as our country's health minister, sport, which was a great portfolio. I've been the Defence Minister, the Home Affairs Minister. I've been on the Expenditure Review Committee. I've been a part of the National Security Committee, as I say, and as part of the leadership of the party. I'll let people draw their own conclusions as to what my capacity is.
Is Minister Albanese will at best form a majority government with a very slim majority. We also have a very large crossbench. What is your plan to approach the crossbench members, including a lot of the new independent MPs who obviously occupy seats once held by the Liberals? Do you foresee being able to forge a relationship and potentially vote with them on certain issues?
Well, yes, is a short answer. As leader in the House, I tried to have a very productive relationship and a respectful relationship with the independents, and I think you've seen some public commentary that reflects that from the independents, and I'll continue to do that. There'll be issues that we can agree on, that we disagree on, but in the chamber you'll be able to work out who are real independents and who are green independents, and that will become obvious by people's voting patterns, by their statements and their comments on broader issues and what has just been examined during the course of the election. So there is an opportunity to work constructively. I suspect if the government doesn't get a majority in the lower house, then they will ask Mr Wilkie to be the Speaker. I suspect Mr Wilkie or one of the other independents would be prepared to do that. So that's how I think they'll shore up their position in the lower house. And then, of course, in the Senate, well, the Labor Party will be relying on the Greens to get their agenda through. And that will be an interesting experiment, which I think will drag the Labor Party further to the left.